And there we are. Should be live. The grind continues. What's up, Smidge? What's up, Mars? We're close. This is definitely doable. Working on the tri-slosher at the moment. Got to keep the weapon freshness string going. It's a lot easier to get to 5.0 than it is to get to 10.0. What's up, Drought Ender and Zucchini? And a guy in orange. And Judd Plus. Judd Plus, whoa. They augmented Judd? Wild. Yes, Captain Magma is the explosher. Vanilla explosher is unlocked at level 18. So we're pretty close. Just gonna need to get to some freshness bonuses. So you get an extra 3k, an extra 10% of the bar. Man, it's only 10% at this point. Just wait for freshness to be the only way to unlock weapons. I didn't know you were only level 16. What can I say? I'm a prodigy. Nobody's even gone down and they're already super jumping to me. That's so strange to me. Because usually you super jump when, like, you've gone down. Like, you need to make up a significant amount of ground. Wow, they actually hit the second shot. No, it wasn't that. It was an ink mine. Oh, that's insane. I always forget about those when fighting E-leaders. That should be, like, harder coded into my flowchart of how to play against them. Watch out for ink mines. Yeah, turf is the only way that we can do this right now, because otherwise we have to play ranked or league or something. League actually wouldn't be a terrible idea, because you do get more points from that, but it also lets fewer people play, and this is also just partly like, let's play with viewers today, because this is a weekend where everyone is excited about Splatoon 3 and is interested in playing with a streamer. We've got two E-leaders on the other team just standing constantly on the glass and shooting down at us. Nice. Hey. How did that miss? Okay. Second one I understand why I missed. The first one I thought was on point. I do think I tend to overestimate the size of the tri-slosher hitboxes, though. Alright. Took this entire game, but we finally figured out how to get on top and get the E-leaders out of here. Nice, and I got it off before the E-leader got off a shot, so none of what I put down got contested. That was a really good game. Playing in inverted colors. I don't know what you did, but I am not the one who knows how to help you undo it. What is Low Ink? Low Ink is a tournament series where they ban players of a certain skill level. the idea is to give mid-level teams, or like mid to low-level teams, a tournament where, I guess they consider everything in low ink low-level. They're arbitrary names, it's whatever. But everyone below a certain skill level, if they were to just enter an open tournament, they'd probably run into like a really high-level team and get destroyed. And that would be like their entire bracket, and they'd be like, well, I didn't learn anything from that. So they made a skill-capped tournament called Low Ink so that lower-level teams would have more of a chance and have more that they can learn from each match. And it's become a really big community fixture. And then what happened was a whole bunch of other tournament organizers were like, hey, Low Ink is working, let's do the same thing. And they came out with a whole bunch of other skill-capped tournaments, and it got a little bit out of hand. There are just a whole bunch of them, but Low Ink is the original one, and it has always been, you know, the one that causes the most of the stir in the community, that's most of the community fixture. One of the key features of Low Ink is that the team that wins every month is banned from ever competing in Low Ink again. It's like a graduation of sorts. Speaking of which, graduation party on September 4th. Never follow a short-range weapon around a corner like that. They do not have honest intentions. See, here's the thing. You have dapple boots. Those don't have enough range to hit me. Hello, folks. And they still have teams playing. Oh, they like, it's usually one of the biggest tournaments that happen in general. Like, short of the Nintendo events, Low Ink is usually one of the bigger ones. Especially one of the bigger ones that happen regularly. It's every month. My team, when I played for the Grillers, was banned in July of 2020 for winning that event. And then today I got to commentate in Alpha Bracket of the very last Low Ink of Splatoon 2. It's going to continue in Splatoon 3, and I think a lot of people, from the way that I was phrasing it, got the impression that it wasn't or something, that this was like just the last Low Ink, but no, they're going to do it for Splatoon 3. They're not done. Graduation party is a trap. No, you're not going to get banned. You're not going to get banned from future graduation parties. It's Splatoon that's graduating, not your team. But that is an appropriate way, I think, of describing graduation. All right, we've put up with all of your nonsense for an entire year. That is all we ever want to have to put up with your nonsense. Yeah, the time slots are NA and EU friendly, but not necessarily AU friendly, unfortunately. It's just, there's no way to get, like, all of those different regions in the same place. When they did the Splat World Championships, the NA teams were up at, like, 5 a.m., and the Japanese teams were up till, like, 1 a.m. or something like that. It was just... The only people who were happy with that were Europe, I think. And I think Europe performed the worst, too. Joins stream cutely. Well, if you say so. What's your favorite map from a purely aesthetic perspective? Okay, that is a good question. Okay, I need to put aside all of my gameplay-related bias. I need to remove the hatred in my heart that I feel for Wahoo World and acknowledge it just as a successful amusement park. Wahoo is pretty exciting looking. Skipper's pretty cool, and I can't... Oof. I'm not sure if I can separate how cool Skipper is from how cool the 4.0 trailer was. I think that was one of the best Splatoon trailers that's ever launched. It was so sick. A lot of them are just kind of gray, which, like, it makes sense gameplay-wise because you're about to spray it with colored ink. So when you get out there and actually start playing, it's going to be a lot more colorful. So, like, that serves a purpose and all, but, like, Walleye Warehouse is very, very gray and desaturated brown. Might be the single weapon that could have actually splatted me with it. I don't know. Like a Nautilus or a Charger could probably have done that. You got people jumping out in turf war? Whoa. I thought you were just supposed to stay in and die. That's what I do. It looks like the friend code command doesn't work. I need to get Nightbot up to date. I've been saying that like every time. Also, I'll get it put in just a second. There we go. Try gameplay is interesting. Oh yeah, you are a Tri main, aren't you? Why is Walleye your favorite? Walleye is not my favorite in any regard. There's no love in my heart for Walleye Warehouse. Oh. There was someone over there. Walleye is best map? False. If you like Walleye Warehouse, you've never been in a position where a single inkjet locked your entire team into spawn. It's just unacceptable that there is a map where you can do that. Albacore is really good from an aesthetic standpoint. Yeah, that's true. It does actually look like a luxurious vacation spot. It's kind of fun. The hammer glitch spot is really good. There was a really cool trick that I saw where an Inkstorm user threw it off of a ledge to a kill zone of Walleye, and that meant that it triggered low enough that you could actually use the rain cloud itself as a smoke screen for moving into the enemy base. That's really cool and really creative. That's definitely also unintended and is in no way anywhere near enough to redeem the stage. I friended you, Squid School. You and like 5 other people. I'll accept as many of those as I can in a minute here. It's a great map if you play Blobber. Okay, fair, I suppose. Been trying to get my friend to play Splatoon. He's going to try Splatoon 3 Splatfest demo. Any advice to ease him into the series? Motion controls are very, very hard at first, and I understand if they seem overwhelming, but give it time and they will be worth it. Try to very early on break the habit of walking and shooting, and instead when you're like missing shots or something, shoot a little bit and then swim to the edge of it and then shoot a little bit more and, you know, go back and forth between those things. I'll try and get 2 if this doesn't take too long. Ooh, this might be taking too long. This is definitely taking too long. Oh my god. Hello. I pressed B that many times and nothing happened? Yeah, I was very close to DCing off of that. Charger coming back around? Okay, they're on the right side now. Oh, come on. I do play this weapon competitively. Like, it's not my strongest weapon, but it is a weapon that I play for a few map modes. Like, I'll play this on Manta Maria. Still 40 friend requests. Very neat. Very groovy. Yeah, go ahead, Oreo Queen. I mean, I'm just messing around in Turf War. It's not like I'm making the same exact decisions that I would be making everywhere. But if there's something mechanical going on, I'm happy to hear about it. Accept destructive criticism. I find that's generally not super helpful. Oh, I had a shot on each of them. I get one more slaw shot there and we've got a triple on our hands and the team wins. But I did not have the time. Let's just walk forward and mash CR. Those games where you and your teammates are both smart. Okay, let's keep going. Hi, Green Tea. Alright. At this point, the lobby is going to be so full. There's no shot. Oh my god, why does it take this long? Oh, that should not be such a difficult thing to process. I really hope they have like a built-in friends system for Splatoon 3 instead of having to use the Switch thing, because the Switch thing is just painful. It doesn't make any sense at all that I can add more memory to this console so that I can have like way more games than fit on the memory that's built in. But that extra memory cannot go towards adding more friends. And here's the thing, I went through and deleted like as many friends as I felt like I wasn't playing with recently. Like I did a purge of my friends list before this all started so that it wouldn't take as long. But it's like, I'm a streamer, I'm a competitive player. I've been a team captain. There's too much that is going on. In terms of me getting friend requests for 300 to be enough. There's always deleting some. Obvious flank is obvious. He's top tier content. How did I miss that? Okay, we got a ball point. Okay, I understand why this is happening now. We're all backline, except for me. Thought it was a direct and it wasn't with the burst bomb. So the second slosh didn't, the first slosh didn't splat, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm trading now. Oh man. Oh, we backed up. Okay. I'm just like, we got one! Let's go! And then the rest of the team backs up and I'm forward and I'm dead. It's alright, though. I don't terribly mind losing in first order. I prefer for things to stay chill. I'm not, worrying too much about the results or anything like that. I'll just do my best while I'm half brain. Dive, dive, dive! The other annoying part is that the way that the friend requests are added, it's the newest ones first. So there are people who have been waiting since like the beginning of the stream to get added, but it's faster for me to accept the new ones than it is for me to accept the old ones. You just don't turf? This is turf. I'm turfing. Unless we're talking about something else that happened in chat, I don't know. Fourth and low ink beta bracket. Not too shabby, not too shabby. What's your team's name? I get for reading chat. I run right into a K-Gal. I don't play anything else besides Turf most of the time, to be honest. Yeah, there's a lot of people who do that. I think that that's definitely going to change in Splatoon 3 to a significant degree. Because in Splatoon 2, the only way to access the other game modes is to go into ranked, to like the super sweaty lobbies. Whereas now there's going to be Anarchy open battles, which are literally not going to matter at all. And there's going to be no reason not to just, like, hang out with your friends, playing the other ranked modes. Like, I think it'll be really good for the game, because people will just generally be more interested in the ranked modes. The ones that are actually competitively viable. I don't want Turf to have knockout. Like, I made this whole video about, like, why Turf War is not played in competitive play. And people took that as, oh yeah, we should make Turf more competitive. I completely disagree. I think Turf War is perfect for what it's supposed to be. And the reason I made that video was not to, like, diss on Turf War. It was to explain to a more casual audience, like, here's why we don't play it in tournaments, even though it's what most people will primarily play as they are experiencing this game. Like, if you're interested in getting into competitive play, this is useful information for you to know so that you can kind of think about a little bit more about the theory of the game, why things are the way they are in the community, and how the game is played at a higher level. You did make Turf War competitive? It's called Zones? Nah, Zones is different. Like, everything kind of works like Zones in that if you control the map, you control the game. But having to fight over one single space on the map is hugely different than having to fight over the entire map. Knockout can make it more stressful. The thing that is coolest, in my opinion, about Turf War is the way they use the music in it. And the only way that they are able to do that is because the game ends in a set amount of time. As soon as that's not possible, you either need the music to adjust itself to the gameplay circumstances, which means it's going to have to be a lot less melodic. Or I forget what conditional I've talked myself into here, but okay, you know what? I'm going to the end of the list. I have enough time on this screen. Should have knockout just because Nintendo matchmaking is so bad? Yeah, I guess it does tend itself towards spawn camps. I don't know. Set things to the side, team comps and turfs so you don't get 3 backlines. Yeah, that is a huge, huge feature that they are adding in Splatoon 3. Thanks for the sub, Sormy. I don't know if that's a... It doesn't actually tell me if that's a subscription on... Oh, no, actually it does, because I switched it so that some of them say Vimo and some of them say Woomy. So that is a YouTube subscription. Thank you for that. Judd, I'm going to start going in the order that the friend requests were received today. So I'll go from the back forward. Because otherwise... Those people who requested it right at the very beginning of the stream are just never going to get their friend request accepted. At this point, I think the chances are relatively slim that people actually end up... Well, okay. People actually end up getting into the lobby with me just because I have more friend requests now than I had when I started the stream. Like, I am not actually managing to keep up with this in any way. Oh my god. How is this one into this one? Okay, you know what? I know Fluffy... screw it. I need to make a decision. I don't actually know where it started today. And I'd have to check the friend request to see what time it arrived at. Oh. bomb rushes here. Those will mess up the museum exhibits. They just ran into mid. That's not gonna work out for him. Is there a way to get up there besides? I guess not. I like it in the ranked modes where you can jump up the rail there. I think that's a really cool addition to this map that the Turf War version is lacking. Maybe they're just trying to make it harder to get into the enemy base. I guess that makes sense. They don't want spawn camping in the most casual mode. It's just like, as the attacking team, if you're pushed up that far, it's like, well, what am I supposed to do now? Just, like, wait for them to come back and spot them again? Like, it doesn't feel like there's much of an objective. You're just like, well, we want to fight. What do we do with that? I don't know. Camp for special, I guess? I came in with a wave of 3 other people. Cloud? I'm confused. Earlier, something super odd happened in ranked. Someone threw all on my team, but targeted it at me. Kept super jumping to me, and then whenever I die, they jump back to spawn. Pop missiles and then jump in front of spawn while not firing at them. Oh, okay. Yeah. They're gonna lose, and you're going to not lose as much because you're trying. So they're going to rank down, and you are going to stay where you're at, and you're going to stop ending up in lobbies with them. Is what it is. Oh, okay, your clown is your username. Gotcha. I didn't see anyone named clown in the game. I thought about that, but second or third on the friend list request. Got it. Yeah. Don't worry too much about what someone who is in that mindset thinks, because it is not rational. What weapon are we unlocking? Captain Magma is the explosher. No. I've always had a hard time. Let me greed for another one. Let me see if I can get 2 on this loading screen. Cool. Did not disconnect. I was very close to it, though. It was at 229, so it was only just at the 30-second mark. So I can do that if I'm really fast about it. Ooh. Actually, didn't see Alice coming in. What does the stream say if somebody unsubs? Nothing. When have you ever seen a stream that says something when someone unsubs? Yeah, sorry about that jump there. You're actually doing better than I thought you would, but... Yeah, I was probably not going to be successful. Press home to get to... Oh, okay, yeah. That's true. Yeah, so the tech is to have 2 of those when I'm on the loading screen. Here's my thing about the, you know, someone who's toxic towards you. Like, that sort of thing, I know that they're in a bad place if they're behaving that way. Like, I empathize, if not, like, I sympathize if not empathizing with them, you know? Like, I realize that they're tilted. Nobody likes to be tilted. Nobody likes to be frustrated like that. And so I know that they're not in a happy place. So I don't find that funny. Like, I look at that and I'm like, oh, there is a human being who is in a really crappy mindset that's only going to make them more unhappy. It's like... reality TV, I was never able to watch that very much because I just got so much secondhand embarrassment. I'm like, wow, these people are being put up in front of all, you know, millions and millions of eyeballs at their absolute worst, having been goaded and prodded into behaving that way. And people are laughing at them. Like... it feels like the most massive instance of bullying that is held up as entertainment. So, something like that happens, I just kind of ignore it, do nothing about it, don't encourage it, don't engage with it. Rather make it as small a part of my life as I possibly can. Oh, that person was way too close to the ledge. Dynamo did a good job of saving them, but I think I would have had them if not for that. The thing we're talking about was someone in a ranked game was tilting and was just like repeatedly super jumping to someone in chat, and they were thinking of like sending them a friend request because they thought it was funny. Yeah, PBs with a friend is actually a pretty good way to practice splashdown cancels. Like, just, if you're on a team, get all 3 members to just pick a splashdown weapon and create a minefield for you around the map, where as soon as you run into one of them, splashdown happens and you have to figure out how to cancel it. Because otherwise, it's really hard to just set the situation up. The other really good way to practice them is in the training room, because the targets that are up on the grates are exactly the height of a splashdown. So you can just practice shooting those from various places in the training room. And that will be a way for you to learn how to pick those out. Yeah. Oh, pff, that's funny. Thought you had to shoot the checkpoint, not swim on it. Yeah, I mean, you do have to shoot it to swim up it, but at a certain point, like, yeah, that's not gonna help you much. Gotten cancels before his Explo. Yeah, I've seen Explos hit those before. It's kind of wild. Yeah, being on both YouTube and Twitch is actually really cool, because then you make numbers go up, and numbers go up make Gem feel good. This is my argument. Stonks. Region 3 to be fine warm-up practice. Yeah, if you can get to the final phase pretty consistently, then you will get like repeated attempts at splashdown canceling if you want to go for it. It's just every time you mess it up, you get splatted and you have to go all the way through the first 4 phases again. So it can be time consuming. Also, I guess if you get it correctly, then you end the level. So it's like you're working for an awful long time to get exactly one good rep in before you lose your shot. Yes, more number. Life is cookie clicker. More number mean more good. Almost didn't get around that corner. Probably wouldn't have if they had charge. Man, I knew someone was about to go down if I didn't pop that. Anyway, right. Yeah, Hydra's a great weapon for canceling Splashdown. You're often just so far away that there's no danger posed to you whatsoever by it. Ooh, that'd have been a direct first bomb. I think I would have splatted. That's 3 of us down with 15 seconds left in the game. I think we lose that. And the A-leader, the scoped A-leader drops to right at the end. Splashdown saying it, so I can get the satisfaction of canceling it. I don't know, I just don't feel like it was ever fun to play a Splashdown weapon because of that. Like, It should feel a lot more cathartic than it does to splash down on someone, but you just get so few opportunities to actually do that when you play the weapon. Getting wary of my Hydra gameplay. Any chance you could do a VOD review? So DM me about that, and we can, you know, get you on the show whenever. Devi is also a really good person to talk to about Hydra stuff. Devi would be happy to bring you into the fold. Does more gem dab make you more happy? It does make number go up. Looking forward to Vunder getting the shark. The shark is really interesting. I feel like that has some potential. Because what it could do is give players opportunities to initiate fights, to engage that they wouldn't have had otherwise. I think it's going to be really good for the Tetras. It's going to be a really good counter if the invincibility lasts as long as we think it will for backline weapons, because you'll be able to just use the Reef Slider to get across areas like this right here, which suck. Granted, I got around it, but... Let's go low. So... Missed every single slosh. I don't know that Shark is going to be, like, super good, but it is a lot better than Splashdown, I think, in terms of design. I think having the movement be horizontal instead of vertical is super good for that genre of special. Oh, hi. Paint you will have playing Explo without main saver and swim speed. We'll make it work. Wow, that was a trade and a half. Very fun. I never played a stamp weapon. That might, you know, that might be something that I have to learn if it's better in Splatoon 3. Literally, the issue in Splatoon 2 is just that at a competitive level, that is not a good special. It's just got too much counterplay. It's very likely to just get shot if you go in too deep with it. Like, what you really need out of a special is not, like, extra kill power, because there are a lot of weapons that splat you really, really quickly if you just use the main weapon. It's not like there are characters in this game that have a whole ton of health or something. It's not like people are trying to itemize to be able to burst down tent shields or something like that. You splat someone extremely quickly already with, like, a whole bunch of the viable main weapons. And the real problem is finding the right fight where you can bring that damage to bear. While giving someone a really big stick that they can hit people with, that sure does a ton of damage, does lethal damage, but that you have to get into melee range with, like... Okay, so what I'm doing right now is I'm changing my longer ranged weapon, whatever it is, into Dapple Doolies. Well, I don't want Dapple Doolies. Dapple Doolies suck. Dapple Doolies are not a good main weapon in competitive play. So, like, what am I supposed to do with this hammer? I guess I can chuck it. I get this, like, one really long-range skill shot that is fairly telegraphed and usually dodgeable. It can kind of hit up over ledges sometimes, so there's that. It's like, you just don't get a lot out of it. You have to shark to make use of it. And if you're successfully sharking that well, you might as well just kill him with the main weapon. Topic of try, did they show a new kit? I don't know. I don't think they've shown a kit for that yet. They've shown the new design for it, but Char is keeping a lot closer track of that sort of thing. I think he tweeted out at one point a list of all of the weapon kits that we currently know. I wish I still had that pulled up. But one thing that is a little confusing, you've got to watch the date of when he posts things. Because there was a video he made 10 months ago based on the Crab Tank reveal trailer. That one of just like a whole bunch of gameplay. When that trailer came out, he did a video of like, here are all the kits we know, and they've since changed. They have different ones in the current footage. So, you know, there are some that, you know, that you can say are more likely to change than others. Like, there are some weapons that they've been, like, specifically highlighting in videos, in trailers. Woo, they almost got me. If they'd hit more directs, they would have had me. Oh no, I missed. First bomb for try, you mean? Sorry, I didn't see exactly which weapon we're talking about, if we're still talking about try. I'm out of ink. That's really unfortunate. They're Clash DC'd. Of course the E-Leader is wearing Respawn Punisher. Let's just play less of the video game. That'll be fun. Just realized I have not been paying a lot of attention to friend requests since I started the new rotation. The DC, this is going to happen. We're just going to have more paint even if we're not winning more fights. And we're going to be more likely to win fights because we just outnumber them. Oh wow, that was unfortunate for them. And I got him right at the end. And we'll get one more after this, because we know we have time. Actually, no, it's not that we have time here, it's that we have time on the... Yeah, because there we only have 19 seconds. But when we hit the loading screen after this screen, then we've got time. Oh my god. And I forgot to go and grab it because I was distracted by the person in chat I needed banned. I've got enough filters in place that most of those spam bots get caught, but that one was just like innocuous enough language that it didn't trigger anywhere, which is annoying. That was not where I thought they were. Oh yeah, it's really bad on YouTube. YouTube moderation is just like years behind Twitch's. And it's like, of course they are, because they've only been in the space for so long. But also, they've had the benefit of seeing how it works on Twitch, and you'd think they would have carried some of those features over. I don't know. The corporations that actually make money off of streaming are really disappointing a lot of the time. Like, what I've heard from people who, like, work at Twitch is that the way Twitch works these days is that it's run by people who are just interested in building a resume at Twitch so that they can move on to another Fortune 500 company. It's so, like, soulless. Like, I just... If you're gonna do a job, you're going to have to labor. You might as well do something that's valuable instead of just, like, exist to try and get more money. I never understood that. Why does it not credit me with the splat for... Or no, why does it not... It doesn't credit me with the splat for that because I'm not the one who had the missiles. I'm so used to playing K-Shot that I'm just like, oh yeah, those missiles were mine. I zoned them into those. Very silly. There's one up top. Alright, go get him, squad. That's not gonna paint anything. Yeah, the thing about removing dislikes is that that was actually, in some cases, a useful feature. Like, let's say there's someone who's claiming to be an expert in something. Nice, got the freshness bonus. Let's say there's someone who's claiming to be an expert in something, like something really important, like an electrician, let's say. And they're giving you advice on how to do DIY home improvement. And this advice will get you hurt if you follow it to the T. Like, that is a video that needs to be taken off. That's a video that people need to realize when they see it. This is heavily disliked. There is disagreement here. Like, and that's something that catches your eye if you see a really significant dislike ratio on a video. So, I don't know. It's obviously those kinds of decisions are going to be made with the company making more ad revenue in mind. It's like, oh, this is a video people dislike. Therefore, people are less likely to stay on YouTube because this button is here. I don't know. Because of rewinds 2018 and 2019. Yeah, I guess. It's kind of like... That's a really shallow and silly reason for them to do that, though. I think there are more legitimate arguments for why you should maybe not have that. Not saying that I agree, but If you're going to argue that we shouldn't have it, then at least pick a better reason than that. No, this is annoying. I'm just gonna leave. I hit a shot eventually. You cannot take that away from me. We got one of them anyway. For all that's cool about the Tetrajulies, they actually really don't have very high DPS. It's only like slightly faster than like Dually Squelchers in terms of kill time. Like, it works by staying alive long enough to hit those shots, not by splatting someone enormously quickly. Oh, I didn't even realize there was someone there. That was just containing. That probably looked like I was, like, reading their mind or something. Alright, we got the trade. And how is it that you hit both with the Explo again? That is tech that I'm going to need to figure out shortly here. Is it like you hit one on the way up and another on the way down? That seems difficult. Slays too. Well, the way that I'm slaying those players there is not by like out DPSing them. It's by making them miss shots. If your opponent isn't hitting shots, you've got all the time in the world to splat them. Doesn't matter how much DPS you have. Hi, Los. Oh, they revealed new Pokemon today? Sick. I'll have to go check those out sometime. I think the weapon would not be balanced if you could just one-shot with an Explo. If you directly hit it, auto counts as an effective 90? Huh. Hit someone directly, then it pierces and hits the ground under them, which does more. Oh, okay, so you have to land it on top of them really effectively. You can't, like, hit it past them. It has to, like, land right on their spot. That makes sense. Yeah, like, I figure in theory it could one-shot if you hit the indirect on the way up, and then it landed on them and got the 90 direct. Oh, I got... Okay. It actually took switching to double reticle mode there for that to work. Because at that point I was left side peeking, but because I went into double reticle mode, the shot actually fired from the left gun and worked really well for that. If I stay turret mode there, I mean, the main reason I did it was so that I could move, but also if I stay turret mode there, I can't actually hit that shot, because I just hit the wall instead. Mad Lad. Just went out and ran it down in Rainmaker and it worked? Yeah. Ooh. Up the wall, please. Thank you. Man, I was just out of range. Which Explo? Well, there's only one of them that unlocks at level 18. The other one I have to wait till level 22, so I don't really have a choice early on. I stole that kill. I did not hit, like, any of the shots. Ah, okay. Yeah, if you've got the whole team looking at me, then that Splashdown is not safe. My team did too well. We sent too many of them to spawn. We just need to do worse next time. Thank you for the follow! The name went off the screen right before I was able to read it. Cool. Wolf's in a box. Good to have you. Oh my god. Okay, 1 second. I need to go and add that new spam bot to the block list. It's annoying the way that you have to do this. It's like technically it is coming up with new accounts every time. So you have to go in and like block certain phrases that keep popping up. And then you can usually get them to go away. So, I just blocked the phrase 69 mega, and now that bot should just get blocked every time. And if it doesn't, well, then I don't understand how the system works, and I will figure something else out. But it's actually really annoying and insidious that it's using just the word love instead of whatever other explicit stuff it could be saying. Because the explicit stuff is easy to ban, but I can't just ban the word love. There's no love here, only hatred. I always think that the dynamo is going to miss when I splash down. But I forget the #1 rule of dynamos, of fighting against dynamos, which is that the dynamo never misses. It is a proven fact. If the dynamo misses, they're just not an X-rank dynamo. Oh my god. I rolled forward just fine, and then when I rolled backwards, I hit the pillar. I'll have to change the angle just a little bit or something. Ah! Oh, they almost got stuck on that. Spambot has ruined love we can only like. Show a deep platonic appreciation for. That's what I'd prefer everyone use from now on, if you don't mind. Thank you for your cooperation, chat. Hi, Charex. Welcome. Ah! Anything the opposing color that deep in your peripheral vision is the scariest thing. Philip, I was making a point, and then you proved the point by interrupting me. I don't appreciate it. Woo! Okay. That was a lot of shots that had to be hit in order for that to work. Ah! Okay, we run this way, and then we back up. Yeah, the splashdown was kind of neat, how it ended right when the game did. I love this pose, like, that was pretty cool, right? That was pretty cool, right? You see that? You see that? Yeah, you saw that. That's what that inkling is like. I love that. Is a sloshing machine a midline support? The term support is really iffy to describe in this game. Every weapon needs to be able to kill something. The weapons that can't kill things are bad weapons. But they also need to be able to paint. So like some of the strongest weapons in the game are like, you know, you look at K-Shot or Jet Squelcher, and their job is to put out a lot of paint and put out a lot of specials, but then to also fight to take advantage of that paint and those specials. So, like, does that make them a support class? Like, that's not making them like a Sona from League of Legends who literally just can't do damage by herself and needs a teammate to do the damage for her. Like, it's not like they're a healer either. I guess they've got armor, which is the closest thing that you can have to it, but it's not like that's doing that much for your teammates. You're not just a heal bot the whole time, like a medic in Team Fortress 2 or a Mercy in Overwatch. So, why call something a support? I think there's like one true support class in this game, and that's like the Splattershot Junior. I guess you could like look at the NZAP as one, but even the NZAP fights a lot. And even juniors like to be able to go in and take fights when they have the opportunities to, because their weapon is fast and shoots really fast and has a decent kill time. Like, you get a junior on top of a charger, the junior should win. So, to answer the question though of like what a machine does, the K machine is used as a skirmisher. Its job is to engage the enemy team by doing things that the enemy team can't ignore, and then being able to safely back up and not actually get splatted for engaging the enemy team that much. Because the machine backing up is one of the most difficult weapons to push as a frontliner in the entire game. It just has this really big hitbox out in front of it and only needs to hit you twice. And so it will often just like get picks because people push at it, and really their weapons cannot do that. And the role of a skirmisher, I mean, besides painting, because it can definitely paint with its fizzy bomb, but the role of a skirmisher is to set up fights so that fast-killing weapons like, you know, your 52 gals, your Neo Splashamatics, your Tentatech splatter shots, they set up fights so that those weapons can come in and finish the fights and finish them quickly while the opponent's back is turned. That's the kind of general theory behind it. You have something like a machine, a rapid blaster, a dynamo backing a player up or forcing them to play really, really safely, and then they get engaged on by someone else. Now, even saying that is oversimplifying it, because really every weapon plays every role at some point in time. You're a lot less likely to, you know, play a skirmisher role as something like an E-leader. They're not gonna just, like, put themselves out there and, like, try to directly engage the enemy team. But if someone sneaks up on them, then they're gonna, like, back up and try and tap shot and be as evasive as possible so that if someone does come to help them, that the fight is as easy as possible for them. And that's still skirmishing. So really, every weapon plays every role at some point in the game, and when you distinguish something as a skirmisher, as a slayer, or something like that, what you're really saying is this weapon is particularly good at doing this role, and you should try to do it as often as you possibly can. And, like, this is what you're going to be doing during the big team fight when it breaks out. So hopefully that has explained a little bit more about the theory of this game. That's all very, very heavily based on FLC's ideas about how those weapon roles work. But he's also written a document about that I think is linked in the resources area of the Discord server. I figured that they would be damaged because of the rain to some extent, and that the indirect damage from the splashdown would be all we'd need. It's 3 shots. There we go. Well, we got them anyway. You saw while I was fighting that I was actually using main strafing instead of dodge rolling. And that's because if I had dodge rolled right away, I would have used my 4th dodge roll and still not been close enough to reach them. Ow. So I dodged the shot by strafing, then used the dodge rolls to actually close the distance before the leader could back away. Actually, it's a Swiffer. Perhaps I've been respecting that a little bit too much. I had to do that just in case they decided to drop over the ledge. If they had done that as I was falling, they would have been able to get me. Oh my god. I should die for this. I might not. Cool. That right there was skirmishing. I did nothing to do damage during that fight, but I got the roller's attention. And because the roller was looking at me, my teammate was able to finish that off. If I had Splashdown there, they'd probably... no, I probably would have actually fed there. If I had Splashdown, they could have canceled that. Nicely done on the Dynamo Flick. Swift doesn't know I'm here. Probably could have snapped to that and killed me because I missed too many shots. But they weren't ready for it. Oh, hello. Nice. Hope that Splatooners have a spot in the meta. They're looking kind of nasty right now. Like, they've got insane paint because of their range. The thing is, I don't think a kit with hammer is going to do well for it. Like, it's going to be able to poke, but it remains to be seen if it's going to have the mobility that it needs to approach. Like, I don't know. It feels like right now, the way that its kit works, it's kind of like a CDS that you just have to be a little bit more careful about approaching at like close range. Because like it can still do the one-shot thing, but it's also really long range and not that high a DPS. If hammer is going to be fixed. I don't know what they can do for hammer that isn't going to make it broken or useless. I feel like it's stuck between one of those two things. It already has an insane hitbox that doesn't make a lot of sense and you just kind of have to get used to. And it's still not great. They could increase the frame data so that you just get, like, sharked and deleted immediately. But even then, as soon as you hear the hammer get popped, you should know that it's there. And it would definitely be really toxic if you did not know that it was there. I can't see anything, and I don't have any rolls. Like... I just, like... I don't find the hammer as interesting as I think a lot of people do. Because I think it's not functional enough. It doesn't feel intuitive or smooth enough. It's fun to just, like, Donkey Kong around and, like, have some fun with the game that way. But in terms of, like, using it for a competitive context, it's like, it can kind of enhance a flank sometimes. But that flank would probably just be as well executed using the main weapon of whatever's using it in that situation. And anything long or even mid-range getting it does not seem like a good fit. Increase the turning speed? I don't know, Boogie's not playing. I mean, granted, maybe they're just accepting a bunch of friend requests. Boogie's down. Thanks for the follow, Shellafresh. Oh, good cancel, good cancel. With an arrow spray too, that's actually impressive. You have to get pretty close to that. Yeah, there's a disconnect. I was waiting to see if that chicken would do anything. Boogie's not boogieing. No more boogie. Hope that you can't hit the player through the hammer. Yeah, I mean, that's already the way that it is. Nerfing it wouldn't do any good. Here. There's that. Why is it not sending me to Twitch? Why does it just like randomly do that sometimes? Should show up on screen at least. Crush anyone you play against? Well, all you gotta do is dodge sideways. Like, yeah, like running away from it is gonna like just keep you in its line of sight, but it can't turn very fast, so you just step to the side. And now it has to like disengage, turn around, just ignore you and keep moving forward. Like, it doesn't have a lot of good options. Oh my god. Still more friend requests. Thing is, this lobby is like really full right now. I don't know how realistic it is for someone to be able to get in at this point, but you can always try. I wonder if it would be interesting if there were some way in Fortnite. There's a system where you can like. That's not Fortnite. What am I thinking? There's a system where you can set it so that the matchmaking pool in some game, not in Splatoon, so that the matchmaking pool is limited to players who have like a certain password or something. So like you can have like 1,000 players in this lobby. Oh, I think it's Mario Kart actually. So you can have like, you know, some 100 players in the lobby or something like that, even though the game only has 12 players in it. It'd be cool if there was something like that, so that even if like not everyone can play with me, we can at least all play with other viewers of the stream. We need to have that sort of functionality. You are teleporting, sir. Or madam. I didn't see long hair, and so I figured that it was a sir, but no, I guess the hair gets tucked under the hat. Okay, nice. We got 2 down. We just have to clean up a little bit and we're in the lead. Cool. I think that's a win. Short hair lady haircut. Well, they're at least, they come down like to at least shoulder level. That's pretty much all the haircuts as far as I remember. All right, 1 level away. 36,400 experience to go. From what? We're farming for the explosher. And once we get it, we're going to be playing it in ranked from C rank to learn the weapon, because it's one that I just do not play at all. And try and learn more about the game from playing something that I normally don't. See if we can get it to X rank. It's probably realistically not going to get all the way to X rank by the time Splatoon 3 comes out, but I will see how far I can get it. And this way, when I do Weapon to X streams, I will be able to play every single rotation, and I won't even have to worry about whether I'm about to hit Rainmaker and have to do something else. Yeah. These are splashdowns that do get punished. That one won't, because I threw their aim off enough, and also I was much less damaged when I went for it. Hi, Brady. Bye, Brady. Oh. Well, you missed. So there's that. We'll get this, yeah. Yeah, these weapons are so fun. Ah! Might just mess around and be a Tetris main. Why not? You know? Why not just turn a new leaf in Splatoon 3 and run the sickest weapon in Splatoon 2? I need them to have a better special. It doesn't need to be great, but it needs to be one that you can get benefit out of. Did they confirm that it has Reef Slider? Because, like, they tend to be replacing the weapons that had Splashdown with Reef Slider. Also, thank you for the follow, Deadpool. Big fan of your movie. Gem, can we get an ooh-woo? There you go, Slydra. There's your ooh-woo. What mode are you going to play Expo on? Rainmaker. That's the one that's open now because of the Aerospray being done. Yeah, I was actually kind of surprised that we lost, but then thinking about it, we did have 3 down with like 7 seconds to go. Woomy. Thank you for the follow, TK Halo. Appreciate you. Gem growing a little beard. Am I? Inconclusive. Sometimes it's just a weekend and I'm like, I don't need to shave. A little bit of scruff never hurt anybody. Except for my dignity. But I don't care about my dignity. I'm long past that. Am I dead? Yeah. Figured I'd given them too much time. Light Tetra is interesting. I have always been skeptical that the sprinkler on Light Tetras is preferable in any circumstance to the Autobomb. The Autobomb tells me what direction to roll at and shoot. The sprinkler does not tell me these things. But it does block a few shots. Like, there might be a situation where you put it down and it actually saves your life. Which I can't really say for an Autobomb. So I don't know. There? Oh. Oh, you're there. I'm glad you missed that. Oh, hi Dilly. That's where you are. Hi, Eva! Guess that's not me then, says Spaceman. I'm missing the context. It's not as great, but I 100% appreciate the Autobomb. Rather the Autobomb than Splashdown? Well, this has Autobomb and Splashdown. Oh, you mean Autobomb Rush? Oh, I missed. One too many shots. Literally one. Thank you for the follow, Visibly Happy. I'm glad that you are visibly happy. That's a great way to be. Happy and makes other people that way too. Unless it's visibly happy, but secretly unhappy. Gasp. The drama. My identity is a lie. Hi, Crocs. Hope this map comes back. This map is definitely unique. It works a lot differently than other maps in the game. I always personally felt it was kind of mid, but it does have some uniqueness to it, just by nature of being so big. Thanks for the follow, Phantom. How do I join? There's that. And good luck. Because I think this entire lobby is probably viewers at this point. Also, I have not been doing a great job of accepting friend requests. Every time I go in here, there are more than there were before. I'm not keeping pace with them. And at some point, I'm going to run out of them. Or run out of space for them. I think I can sneak one more in. And if not, well, at least it'll re-roll and give other people a chance to get in, I guess. Woo! Made it. Well, yeah, I've probably accepted at least 20 friend requests so far on this stream. There's a lot of people who want in. Well, that's not gonna work. It's a limit check, right? Yeah, that's what it is. Why are you ouching? There's nobody on your ouch. Like, I get ouching once to let us know that you're down. But then, after that, I'm like, oh shoot, there's definitely someone sharking around here now. What's going on? And then it just turns out there's not. Alright. Hopefully that backs them up a little bit and we're able to get out. Nice. Still one over here. Oh, did they leave? Thanks for the follow, Octo King. The 4th Octo King, mind you. Got one of them down. Try not to go down here. Oh, man. I was just about to Splashdown to try and get some area painted. We might not have had enough time to make that up. We were at a pretty big disadvantage going into that last fight, and it went well, but... it's possible, but I don't think so. Yeah, no. And thanks for the subscription. I think MDX Gamer is what that says. Hi, Bunny Hugger. Here, I've got a bunny for you to hug. This is him. This is the bunny. His name is Calvin. Burst bombs is a... Give what burst bomb? What, Explo? I'm trying to think of what. Yeah, Calvin's great. Captain Magma is the explosher. I unlock it at level 18 and I am level 17. We're almost there. I remember someone saying their tag was Mandark earlier. I can probably get another one in really quick. Explo Burst Bomb? Ooh, no, please no. Explo has exactly what it needs in terms of damage combos right now. Any more and it is not fun. I mean, as an Explo main, sure, you'd want it, but that weapon does not need that. What I'm doing with that movement is I'm painting in places to make my opponent think I'm going to go there, and then intentionally going someplace else. My chicken failed me. It's okay, chicken, I still love you. We cannot push this that much further. We're just going to paint this back up, and then they're going to drop. So maybe a little overzealous of them. Nice, we ended up getting them. Good teamwork there. Alright, nice. Now we get us in a little bit deeper. Nerf burst bomb? I don't know. Because splat bombs and suction bombs are still better than burst bombs are in most cases. There are a few weapons where they get outsized benefit from it. Like, for a carbon deco, the burst bomb is literally the perfect weapon for it. But for most things, you prefer to have the lethal. Is in, like, Rainmaker or Clam Blitz, one of the only ways that you can really consistently defend in a situation where you're the only player up is by putting lethal bombs in front of where the objective has to go. And suction bombs can even do that sort of thing on tower. Reliably, that is. Like, you can use other bombs, but there are some angles where it's really tricky to get them up there, and sometimes it's just not as practical to go for. Wow, I survived that, and they didn't. That's surprising to me. Well, cool, we got a W. Fizzy Explo? I think the mechanic of charging up fizzies is really cool. The fact that you have to, like, physically move the controller like you're actually shaking up a can. I think that's really neat. I do not think what the fizzy bomb actually does is very cool, though. It's just... It's not that satisfying. It paints a lot. It's annoying how threatening it is and how much space it takes up. And people just play certain weapons to spam them. Like, cool concept in terms of how you use it, but not in terms of what it does. I think what it does is just kind of boring and annoying. Not really lethal because how avoidable. Yeah, I mean, and again, like, that's part of why it's not as satisfying. And it does pain a lot. It's just like... Why have something in there that's there to annoy you? It's there to just, like, ugh, now I have to paint all of this over again. Why are we all Tetras? What is going on right now? We're 3 Tetras and a Dynamo, who's here to just be our armor bot, I guess. Everyone knows we're gonna need it. I literally only used that autobomb because I figured my teammate didn't know that there was someone on top of that block, and I wanted the autobomb to point them to that person. I wanted one more roll. I didn't even need to use one of those rolls that I did. Could have traversed the area with 3 and then had a 4th to finish the splat there. Just mashed the B button. I'm missing too many shots. And Storm was too aware of me taking the fight against the machine, or against the Swiffer. Both weak, but I don't think I get him with any of that. I think Tent is cool, actually. Because Tent, there is counterplay, even though it's a really good tank class. Like, you have to play around the Tent shield in a certain way, and so the Tent is only going to be dangerous if you get too close to the shield. And if they play wrong around the shield, you can bomb the side of it. I am totally down with Tent being pretty much exactly the way that it is in Splatoon 2. It's not broken, but it's viable. I think that's a really good spot for any weapon to be. Like, I think that's really what the best designed weapons are in Splatoon right now. Like, I like Tenatech Splattershot a lot. I like Tetradulies a lot. I like Tent Umbrella a lot. What else do I like? Those are probably... I'd have to think more about it, but those are, like, among my favorite designed weapons. Could definitely do with a slightly better special on the Tetras, but in terms of the main weapon anyway, just really, really fun. So, I don't know, I think it's in a pretty good place. What else? YouTuber's a lot of fun, even though it's bad. Trying to think what else. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I've got. Every weapon in the game should have a strong kit. Yeah, I think... So, we can say that in theory, but in practice, you can try to make every weapon have a strong kit, and some will innately be better than others, and will be considered low tiers. You can compress the distance between the best and the worst weapons, and that's the most you can hope for. But at the end of the day, if something is outclassed, it is outclassed. The best situation to be in is where some weapons are definitely the best in some situations, but other weapons are definitely the best in other situations. And so your team comp is always going to have some variety to it. And you're not just picking the same 4 weapons for just about every map mode. And to be fair, Splatoon is in that place right now. There isn't a huge pool of weapons that are largely going to get picked, but there are definitely a lot of viable options. It's not like you have to play only these 4 weapons ever. There are definitely situations where you can do things that are not the 4 shooter meta and have significant success even at top level. Like, it's, I think it was Splat World Championships in spring. Somebody found a way to work vanilla ballpointing to actually make the inkjet work, because they realized that there was a player who was going to farm Stingray on a certain part of the map that was really punishable by inkjet. And so they could win the backline duel by grabbing an inkjet for it. Like, if there is reason to do something strange like that that you don't tend to see, then the game's in a pretty healthy place. So, I won't say that Splatoon is like an unbalanced game or anything like that. Like, this is pretty close to as good as you're going to get. But Splatoon 3, I think, has the potential to be even better. We just jump out of this. There are definitely, you know, certain games that are balanced better than this one is currently. Like, K-Gal has a lot more Brawl Meta Knight energy to it than it does Melee Fox energy. We're running triple Splashdown. Oh. Hi. Ah! Move the Twitch view right back. Hi there! Just because the game is balanced doesn't mean good thing. Yeah, to a degree. Like, I don't know. I think balance is good in and of itself. When you run into problems with balance is when, by balance, you mean every weapon is just the same and does the same thing. Like, there's a good argument that Virtua Fighter is a game like that, where all of the characters are too similar. And so while the balance is really good, like, it's kind of meaningless to make a tier list, the characters are so similar it doesn't really matter because they're all the same character, basically. Leveling up quick. We are 30,400 points away from what we need. Virtua Fighter today is mostly notable because it's like the first fully 3D fighting game and arcade game. Even then, there are still VF games made to this day. Yeah, it's an odd title. Like, in a lot of ways, it's daring to be different, but the ways that it's daring to be different are often not the commercially viable ways. Or not ways that's, like, make the gameplay more interesting for most players, so it's niche. Fell and now I'm bleeding? Well, go take care of yourself instead of typing in chat. Don't just stay here and be like, hi, nosebleed dripping down face. Like, go get some tissues and stuff. Like, take care of yourself. My god. Oh, wow. I'm surprised those were missing. Misjudge for the role we're going to put them. Do better at life? I mean, I guess you could say, like, do better at not being dead or not being hurt. Eh, they're not going to get dead from bleeding like that. I would assume. Man, I needed people to push in to help me with that. With 2 down, that was definitely a time where we could have. That's something that I would, of course, be saying on the mic if this were a coordinated team. I thought I hit enough shots. Guess it was only 3. Rip. Why are there 3 Tetras? I don't know. Good question. I'm playing Tetras because it's a weapon that I was able to unlock, that I know somewhat how to play, that I am going for freshness bonuses for. But then I guess I inspired some other people in the stream. And thank you for the follow, Distorted Bronze. And Bowie Boy, who I wasn't able to say anything about earlier. What do you think of the design that booyahing makes your character so little enemy? What? It makes your character so... Sorry, I'm in the middle of a touch keyboard. Makes your character so a little animation that you can't cancel by swimming and block. I cannot parse that. I'm sorry, I'm having a lot of trouble figuring out what that means. Oh, I rolled right into the direct. They would have missed if I hadn't rolled that way. Lots of trades. Let's try and get control of this area. This is probably the most I can paint in the meantime. Oh, I was so close to being able to trigger Splashdown. Should have thrown a bomb. That's not a win. It's actually a lot closer than I thought it was. Booyah animation only locks in if you aren't doing anything. Yeah. Like, you can swim and booyah at the same time. I do it all the time while someone activates a booyah bomb. Like, I'll be swimming into mid and just, like, reach over with my right thumb and be hitting this while I'm doing this with my other hands. Later, Charged Bonsai. The traditional claw. Yeah, that can work. What a lot of really strong Super Smash Bros. Fox players do is they actually hold the controller with their thumb and their forefinger on the left stick. It gives them more precision, I guess. And then they have their third and pointer finger on the top left. And it's like, that seems weird, but then you look at how technical they were on their characters, and I'm like, wait, these are some of the most technical Fox players I've ever watched. Like, there must be something to this. Like, Javi, the best player ever from Mexico for a long time. Like, he would play that way and just do these insane things so consistently in tournament. Very exciting player to watch. Well, that was silly. Really hope that eventually developers realize we don't want claw controllers. Some of us do. But yeah, it is a little bit awkward to try and use Booyah as a game mechanic when it was only intended originally as a communication option. Because it leads you into situations where you need to be pressing something that's very awkward to press. And you would normally press with a finger that needs to be over the joystick the whole time. So you need to, like, bring your hand over from someplace else. Not bad. Oh, I thought it was behind the ledge far enough. Looking at it from that angle, I definitely wasn't. Hello. direction that was really difficult to hit the splashdown from. Should have been looking at the screen at the top to see that they had special and that they would probably do that when threatened. Alright, we got 2 down, but we're 2 down as well. It's gonna be close. Hit him enough. You can finish it. Nice. Hello, Judd. Oh, you're Judd minus now. Whoa. You've reduced. Thank you, Spaceman. Catch you later. Needed to paint over enemy ink more. Yeah, that is the objective of the game, in fact. We're in under 20k. Actually, no, we're just in under 30k. I'm wrong. Why are you wearing the basic gear? I don't really have a reason to farm gear for this challenge, and during the challenge I'm going to be only using the starting gear. In case you don't know, my take on gear is that I think it's highly overrated, the impact that it has on a game. Like, the very first thing that tends to happen when like someone loses a match that they didn't want to lose is they go, oh, my gear must be wrong. When like that is the last thing, the absolute last thing that is actually having an impact on whether you lost or not. They're like, I think obviously it's not healthy or anything to blame your teammates, but like it's at least a more realistic thing to be going after than blaming your gear. There is no gear that you can put on Kiver that will sabotage him enough that I can beat him. So when I do all of these challenges, I always do them on the starting gear just to show, like, hey, this is not the thing that is causing me to win games. It doesn't matter if you don't have, you know, all of your gear unlocked in 3 slots yet, or any of that sort of thing. If you're new, the thing that is causing you to lose games is inexperience with the game, inexperience with its mechanics. Not knowing what decisions to make at the right time is probably the biggest one. There was not really a direction that I could roll there that would make me safe from anything that was shooting at me. I got in too deep. I disagree even then. I don't think even MPU, as massive an impact as that does have on the metagame, is the main reason that someone's winning with Bamboo. Because people were having success at top level on Bamboo before MPU. Like, Tetsu literally got like 2nd or 3rd in a major running no MPU Bamboo before the MPU patch even happened. That weapon was just good and people didn't know it because it was hard. Like, yeah, there are some things that you can do with a weapon a little bit more aggressively when you have MPU, or when you have, like, bomb spam, but even then, like, I played MPU K-Pro for a really long time, and, like, I would definitely recommend you run MPU on K-Pro, or, like, on Splash, or whatever else, CDS, but, like, the amount of times that I got 2 shots, it was just not reliable. It was nice when it happened, but if I went in expecting that I was going to get the 2-shot just because I was in a fight with them and not because I knew they had prior damage on them, usually that was the wrong play. Usually I have to anticipate that it's going to be a fight that I need 3 shots for. And if I get it on the 2nd shot, that's just a pleasant surprise. So my playstyle doesn't really shift that much between MPU and non-MPU K-Pro. And like on rollers, you're still going to be sharking. It's just you're going to be able to swing from slightly closer to, or slightly further away from them and still get the lethal damage. And it's still good to have, it's still like a good benefit, but it's not changing the way you play the weapon fundamentally. Bomb spam on Junior, I think, is just bad in general and should not be a thing you do. Like, if you're going to get it from Last Ditch Effort, which is going to get it for you anyway once you hit a certain point in the game, but also is going to give you other things that are more useful than just being able to throw 2 bombs. Because throwing 2 bombs as a Junior is taking you out of play for longer than you need to be out of play. The Junior should be throwing 1 bomb and then painting. And that gets it more map control, that gets it specials much, much faster, while still being able to have an impact in a way that is useful to their teammates. But throwing 2 bombs and then being like, well, what? Why didn't you guys go in off of those 2 bombs I threw? Like, well, because we knew that you couldn't help us with your main weapon for the next 5 seconds because you had to charge for another bomb. That's an exaggeration. It doesn't take that long, but it is a significant enough amount of time that you are out of play with the double bomb that it's a bad plan. That shouldn't be like the primary way that you play the weapon when you're not engaged in a fight, I don't think. And this is information that I'm, you know, not just coming up with on my own experience. Like, this is what Hamrum thinks. And Hamrum was a Div 1, low Div X level Junior player. He has experience on a team of some of the highest caliber. Chara was a little bit more accepting of the idea, but he also agrees that, like, it should be 1 bomb and then paint most of the time. And if you're using double bomb, it's for, like, some very specific niche scenario that most players are not planning a team comp around. Where's a good place to get feedback on weapons? What do you mean on weapons? Like, are you asking, like, how you're playing? Because you're talking about needing a capture card. There are other ways to record. So one way is to use a phone camera and just point it at your screen. I do a bunch of VOD reviews that way. That I honestly prefer to having someone record for you in spectator mode. If someone records for you in spectator mode, then what happens is it smooths over camera movements and doesn't show map checks. I'd rather it be lower quality, but be able to see what your camera was actually doing and what you actually had a chance to be looking at, than to get to see it in higher quality but not actually know that information. So that's my thought, but feedback on your playstyle. Yeah, like, that's one way to do it. If you want feedback from someone else, you're gonna have to record it somehow. Explosher propaganda on our team. Woomy. Thanks for the follow, Storm. Yeah, I figured I was dead as soon as I got that. And the way they were flicking at me. Like, one thing that I think actually does make a significant difference with gear is the QR quick super jump playstyle that was prevalent in Splatoon 1 and carried over in specifically just the red Dapple Dualies and the Tetra Dualies. Those two weapons, I think, are actually capable of still playing the same way that you did in Splatoon 1. And for that, you really do need the quick respawn and quick super jump, because the way that that strategy works is you have to respawn faster than your opponents do. Otherwise, you just trade and trade and trade, and every single fight is a coin flip. But because you're able to have that outsized presence on the map, that's when that starts to work. So that's one place where I can say that the gear definitely does matter. One other place where it definitely does matter is in getting the insta-pop combo, just because Object Shredder is a thing. If you're able to instantly pop your bubbles, then that's something that, like, you just cannot do with a weapon that has other gear, with a lot of weapons. Like, that's what enables the Kenta Jr. to do its thing. Hello. I one of these. That hit below the ledge. Oopsie daisies. Drop roller on inkjets. I don't know. I think stealth jump is still more valuable. Like, his drop roller gets beaten if you just use a bomb properly. You just place a bomb at the right time. It doesn't matter that they have drop roller. They explode before they can hit the ground to roll. Stealth jump doesn't protect the inkjet jump, of course, but like I've said, I don't think it's very reliable that your inkjet jump is protected if you used it from a bad place. But what it can reliably do for you is protect you from being seen and camped in the first place. When you jump into... Again, because it doesn't impact, I don't think, your inkjet landing point. Do I have a flag on this? No. What else can we run? Let's play some CDS. I don't do well on this weapon, and I want to learn the jump tech, because I think it's really cool. Experience feels like you can't buffer the jump tech. I'm not sure. You mean buffer the jump? Probably doesn't have a very large window, if anything. Like, there is a certain amount of recovery time on the end of a roll. You have to wait for that to be up. Oh, neat. Man. Play a little bit safer with this than we were with the last dualies we were playing. These are not Tetras. Yeah. Woo, okay. That was really funny. I'm way too strong and buff and powerful for jump tech. Oh boy. Nice. I was trying to roll into Cubby there, and I didn't, so the Splashdown was just able to hit me. I was still threatened by the other player who was there. It wasn't a good spot to be in. Probably still would have gotten splatted, but that was the idea at any rate. Oh, well. One must remember that splat bombs take a lot of ink. I was thinking there might be a shark down there, and I'm glad there wasn't. So get me this. I'll just launch that and annoy them. That really does have a huge hitbox. So I actually went, like, I dodged in a direction based on a read on where they would shoot, and I was correct on that read, but I still couldn't actually physically get far enough away to not get killed by the splash damage. You can't run. You can't run. Very spoopy. I need to grab some food first. Yeah, I mean, mechanical skill alone can get you relatively far. Get you to, like, Div 3 or something. But, at a certain point, you really need to start being a nerd about the game. Your decision-making is just too important. I used my rolls too early on there. Wasn't actually jump teching. Except for like one of those rolls. And that was a good roll. Got me into a good position, but I need to be able to keep doing that. I needed to wait for the roll timer to go up because I accidentally did another roll first. I think I'm still in Tetris mode. How did none of the missiles hit? And also not me. That's strange. I'm getting really hungry. I'm definitely going to need to get some food before... I don't even know what rotation it is right now, but if it is Rainmaker and I'll actually have some time to play Captain Magma, I need to eat before I go. It's just not going to be good gameplay if I don't. to aim. What kind of advice is that? That's not helpful. Like, I can acknowledge that I'm not playing as well as I usually would right now. I've got a relatively lazy grip on the controller. I'm just, like, checking chat all the time. But, like, I'm not obligated to play well for your benefit. Got him. Baited, outsmarted. Superior decision making. Ow. Gem is resisting increased peer pressure. I'm definitely not gonna get that freshness bonus very quick on this weapon. I've got too many chatters in here who are hell-bent on trying to show me up. Playing their best weapons, going like, oh yeah, I'm beating him, I'm beating him, I'm beating him. Like, again, I'm hungry. I'm just playing Turf War. But let's grab something. Okay, I've already got it on that. Oh, I already got it on the blob? Interesting. Could go Soda Slosher. I probably have all of these already. Oh my god, so many freshness bonuses. Yeah, let's just go Soda. Alright, later, Dilly. I feel attacked. YouTuber propaganda. There we go. We love that here. It is a very cool weapon. Like, it's a pity it's not good, because it'd be a lot of fun to see at like a higher competitive level of play. Oh no, I needed to hit that one. Storm at perfect accuracy there. He beats me in that fight. Ooh. There we go. We'll take the trade. Gives us an advantage on the map. Should let us get mid control. See if we can help our YouTuber friend here. Alright. Got the follow-up for him. That's nice. How did it... Okay, they must have been indirect those bombs. Alrighty. Not the greatest of engagements. Ran out of ink a little bit too early there. And we got it done. Oh, and I got bombed. I thought Alice was the tent, and then they're holding dually squelchers. I'm like, wait, the tent had dually squelchers? What? What a concept. Nintendo, hire me for your weapon design. Oh, I'm not gathering ink for that, alright. Done? We've got a lot painted in our base right now. I don't see us coming back from this. Oh, hi. Thank you, teammate. Well played. Okay, I'm gonna scoot over here. Keep coming. Thank you. I think I might have had that. Hard to say. We definitely didn't have the game, though. The dual squelchers? The dual squelchers? Whoa. All right. That puts us, I think, past halfway? No. We're almost halfway. After this game, we'll be halfway. To level 18. Also, thanks for the follow, Fahihi. I have, I don't remember getting a notification, but thank you. The Bambooly Squelchers? Hmm? Dooley's Splatana? So you got like a couple of daggers or something? I don't know what advantage that gets you in projectile combat. Where are you? Oh my god. Oh, if they had had one more shot, I think they would have been able to find him. Darn. Let's try Zug's Wang. We'll take that. Unfortunately, the two on the other team have specials. Not anymore. Haha. I was probably hitting the floor for most of that time. That's what I've determined. Nice. Well, this is a problem. Oh, how did someone get into our base from there? Oh, because they're a tent umbrella. I think we might have... Yeah, I think we got enough of mid off of that. Really hard to say, though. That might still be them. Yeah, okay. We generally had mid control, but there was just enough blue left elsewhere on the map that it wasn't going to work out. Brella's awesome. What do you mean? Yeah, Brella's a solid weapon. Okay, now we're at halfway through level 17. Isn't Wavebreaker really good against dualies since they're pretty much stuck to the ground when rolling? I mean, they can do so. Like jump tech would work over the top of it, and other dualies can jump and then roll. For example, yeah, it's not even necessarily aim RNG with every weapon. Like with the Tetras, it definitely is. But even when they fire pretty steadily, just the fact that they go left, right when they're firing makes that pretty rough. So yeah, that would definitely hurt dualies more than I think most other weapons. It still remains to be seen if dualies are going to be viable. At somebody. There's a chicken in the end. Yeah, Wavebreaker not being breakable, I think is probably a good call balance-wise. Like, it's relatively slow acting. It needs time to be out there in order to have any impact at all. Okay. I kind of like the idea that they kind of took Inkstorm, but turned it into a mini-game. Where, like, you have counterplay that you can jump, but that counterplay is still, you know, not just negating the impact of the special. It's only reducing it. Whereas Rain, like, the counterplay to it is you just don't get hit, Wolf. Oh, hi. I win this, I think. I'm gonna go grab a little something to eat. I don't know what, but I need to grab something to eat. Seems you only get 5 waves. I mean, yeah, it takes 3 to splat. So I don't think that's a bad number. I actually thought it was 3, and I still thought it was decent. Oh. Rude. Yeah, that wasn't really covering anything. I was at a bad angle for that. Well, peak got painted. More bagel. Come on, guys, carry my unmoving butt harder. I have no idea what the bottom name is supposed to be. Yowaka Hoshi? The thing about Tent is that it cannot engage on you quickly. It can't chase you. You can just run away. Where it's really impactful and effective is when it's putting itself in a place that you have to defend. But even then, it can only make that push for a limited amount of time. So, ultimately, the impact it's going to have is stalling you out. I miss all of that, huh? Pretty sad. Turn that over there. Well. Yeah, guys, just think. Next weekend, we get to play Splatoon 3. Nintendo is pulling all of us aside, like, hey guys, we need some QA testers on this new game that we've been working on. Can you guys maybe help us out with your expert opinions and your high quality gameplay? What more could a Splatoon nerd want? What the 20-something weapons are in test fire? I do not know. I would assume they are probably the weapons that have been featured the most in trailers. So those are the ones that are going to be the best developed at this point in time. Probably stringers and splatanas. We'll need data on those. You know, that whole time I just figured Stormcoder was fighting someone, because they're like standing in place and sloshing furiously at something. So I'm like, oh, they're engaged from the front. If I do something that draws their attention the other way, they'll get shot. Excuse me, shot in the back. And then they were literally just painting. It wasn't anyone they were shooting at all. I wish Nintendo gave this weird shotgun weapon a shield. Good job, Overkicks. Alright. What else shall I consume? Banana. Feel happy when teacher says that I did a great job. Teacher's pet. Brown noser. Suck up. Nerd. Well, I guess we're all nerds. Fair criticism across the board, I think. Oh god. Come here. Oh, hi. Somebody was there. Banana. Woomy. Thanks for the follow, Stormy Crow. Can you imagine Gem is a... Oh, I was hoping the Inkjet Gem was going to be there. I like how literally none of the burst bombs hit, and I still won the fight. Dualies. Wow, these are actually some dangerous jumps. It's either going to be dualies or it's going to be rollers. So they both have counterplay to having their jump camped with main weapons. Oh, hi. There it is again. Should just keep super jumping. It's working. Banana. You know, it's not actually faster to just spam burst bombs at them. It would actually be better to be throwing one burst bomb and then sloshing, or sloshing and throwing one burst bomb or something. Taku raid! Taku, taku, taku! Hi, Taku. So, Taku, Takara, is a Splatoon player. Believe it or not. I know it's crazy because they raided me, but they play for the Grillers at the moment. We got to know Taku pretty well during our time playing against them when they were on Splatforce back when we got started in Ludi. And we've been friends ever since. And I have actually met Taku in person at Low Tide City. Taku was kind of the room mom, just kind of kindest person ever, offered to bus everyone around in the minivan. Just like, anyone needed help, Taku helped them out. Full mom mode. Very wonderful. So thank you, Taku. And Taku is the only person who's allowed to call me Strata. It's the, you know, Strata _ gem in most places. Taku gets to call me that. No, it's gem to everybody else. Just so we're clear. Yeah, the raid sound comes from Star Wars Episode 6. It's the Ewok noises. I just thought it sounded too perfect for the guinea pigs thing. Somebody went and Googled Strata. This is a little too deep. Get out of that. I'm glad that they had already taken some damage, because I was a little worried about that shot they had charging. Oh! I didn't actually see that missile that got me at the end. Thanks for dropping by, Taku. Gotta go to anime night. Ooh, sounds fun. Sounds fun. Oh, we got one hit, but we didn't get the second. I'm getting sniped, yeah. Got 2, though. That's definitely a win. Hi, Strata. I'd like to have a VOD review of my Hydra Splatling. Is that okay, Strata? No. So attempting to learn bucket. It's a really cool weapon class. Like, it's really remarkable how they've managed to make a weapon that's so unique that also still has a place in the meta and doesn't break the game. Like, Tri-Slosher has not been bad for very long in Splatoon. I think they nerfed it a little bit over hard after the very first meta of the game, but then it came back and it's been really solid ever since. And all of the other buckets were good even when the Tri-Slosher was bad. Just a cool weapon class. Buckets are buckets of fun. Very fun to hit 2 things from up close. Oh yeah, I remember there was a game where I was experimenting with the Tri-Slosher with my team. It was Muscle Forge Rainmaker. And I remember coming up behind the enemy team on, like, they were playing Rainmaker. We were defending. And I remember hitting, oh, shoot. Hey, no, you don't get to go there. No, okay, maybe you do. I came up behind them, and I hit 3 of them with 1 slosh, and then got 2 of them on the next one. And I was like, oh, this weapon is doing this way better than any shooter possibly can. There's no way to do what I just did and splat as many people that quickly on another weapon than the one that I am using. And it's nice that the weapon also has weaknesses. Like, it's not like a shooter where it's just, like, too good at everything. Like, it has a lower fire rate, and that's a huge deal in Splatoon. I think that's really cool. Thanks for the sub, Zero's Funny Corner, I think that says. Sorry, it's a little small on my screen. I should blow that window up. Oh. Oh, that second one didn't hit? Shoot. Nice finally getting to play with you, heading out. Alright, GG's! Thanks for playing. I don't think they knew exactly where I was. Because I didn't move. And they turned like 90 degrees. I see you down there. Yeah, we definitely didn't win. Blob one-shotting is kind of ridiculous. Not really. Because blob one-shotting is very dependent on you not moving. And It's just a fact of Splatoon that you should always be moving. The only ability to one-shot with just the main weapon? I guess. Well, no, the Explo theoretically can. I think if you hit a slosh like very high up, and it hits you on the way up, and then you run a distance away and it lands on you and does the 90 damage direct, then it can one-shot you. But that shouldn't happen. Which, I mean, blob one-shots often shouldn't happen. Yeah, that's an interesting way to think about it. I agree with that parsing of it, that it's a 4-shot weapon that just is semi-automatic. Would you say that an H3 one-shots? I don't know. That's because it's firing multiple shots, but like you're only pulling the trigger once. Like in League of Legends, they will call something a one-shot even if it's just a combo that took someone down in one combo. So it's like, what exactly does a one-shot really mean? I think it's really dependent on the community. I feel like they're maybe using the same weapons that I'm using? Like they're copying me? Alice is also using the same, like, starting gear. Yeah, the Aqua Shot DC. I saw it earlier. I mean, I'll take the free freshness points. Not gonna complain about those. Nice. I hope Mr. Riverman knows there's someone else there. They don't. I only needed one. Very good. We do have at least one player spawning soon, so we can't overpush here. Got him. It's easier at that point to use the burst bombs because I'd already crossed them up. I'll get there eventually. Aha! Bomb. Yeah, I mean, by that definition, it's definitely one-shots. That's true. A lot of asterisks, though. Ooh, less than 1,000. That's like 5 or 6 games. I think we get there before the end of the stream. I do have to end at the top of the hour. Have some pre-arranged plans. Oh, and if we get a freshness bonus here, that would mean that we're within like 7,000, 6,000 really. Oh, we're getting up there. We're getting close. Captain Magma will be ours tonight. Hi, Glow Stick. I don't like the salmon run when someone dies, the weapon's crossed out and in color, which makes me think they DC'd. Yeah, they definitely should have kept the visual conventions the same across those two game modes. That was an oversight on their part, I think. Got a Nautilus in the game. They've probably been in there for longer and I just haven't been checking. Oh, that was a person. I hope that was just missiles or something. Yeah, it was sploosh missiles. Yeah, you always check that spot. There's gonna be someone shark in there. Get him, Glow Stick. Nice. Nice! Good stuff, good stuff. Way to trade back. It's nice how I can just paint that entire wall with one swing. I have the superior burst bombs, and then the Carbon Deco showed up like, you have the what now? We got one hit. Nice. I'm not dead, which means that there's nobody here. Ah, I got two people with that slosh, but I wasn't able to get the second one out in time to get the carbon. And down they go. And they have a DC as well. But that does mean we will get the freshness bonus out of this in all likelihood. Not wipe here or anything like that. Oh, we got this. Very cool. What weapon is Captain Magma? That is the explosher, yes. Ooh, that's big. 5,400 to go. Let's bring it home on T-Tech. Asking here, but on the looking for group section for Squid School, do people just like see if they can do league or PBs with other people? Yeah, any kind of Splatooning you're looking for people to play with, you can feel free to post it there. There are unique server roles for different kinds of activities. So If people like to get into like casual PBs, they can ping for those. If people like to go for scrims, they can ping for those. For turf, for salmon, for league. And you can just request those roles, and then anyone can ping those roles when they're looking for someone to play with. Woomy. You love to see a good group woomy. I don't know where anyone on the other team is right now. Okay, now I know where this person is. Can I get a bomb on time? No. Well, okay, kind of. It wasn't actually them that got me, it was the Nautilus. In Turf War, it is very... In Turf War, it is very important to paint your base. Because that is often the difference in an otherwise even fight. How thoroughly did the teams each paint their bases. So that's not like the fun part of playing Turf War, just like walking around the map and slowly making it green. Oh right, I can't go up in this direction in this mode. No. This is like not a place for a T-Tech, but it's fun. Nice. Okay. Behind me. Ah, it's somebody. I mean, yes, I definitely knew that I was referring to that individual player. That is exactly who was behind me. I probably should have already been hitting shots on the inkjet by the time I got over the ledge there. But it's whatever. That is a pretty decisive game, I would say. Hi, Brian. What's a scrim? A scrim is a competitive team practice. It's practice where people are going to play with a coordinated team, so a team that is talking with each other in the voice chat. And they'll just play games against each other, not in a tournament setting where like there are more than two teams and they're going to get eliminated, but just with the same team over and over again to get practice and test what they want to run competitively. It's short for scrimmage, if that means anything to you. I know I heard that word a lot in... you know, sports growing up. Yeah, no problem. And thanks for the follow, Raspberry. That is a great name. I like that a lot. I'm picturing like a raspberry colored beret as your logo. That'd be neat. Woomy and Vimo. Voomy and Weemo. Beemo from Adventure Time. Beemo, the Teemo skin from League of Legends. Well... that was remarkably awkward. Woomy. Thank you for the YouTube subscription, Eric Anderson. Appreciate you. Oh, I thought that was gonna hit. There we go. Yeah, you gotta watch out for the Inkjet in the dogfight. It's not as hard as you'd think to hit those shots. It's easier to hit than against someone who's on the ground. At least to hit a direct, which is what you need to do, unfortunately. Okay, cool. Okay, good job. I can follow up there. Not definitely played that well. Knew they needed to back up and get an angle that I wasn't ready for. I definitely could have tracked it and like predicted where they were going because there are only so many places they could have gone. There were two people there. I think I knew that and just chose to ignore it, honestly. Nice. Oh, cool, I can get a bomb at that angle. They have mid-control right now. We're gonna need to push in. That is exactly what we need to do it. That is not what I need to do in order to do it. But starting it off with a Booyah Bomb is exactly the play. I was trying to farm up for Inkjet and there was more paint on the left-hand side, but I was leaving myself open for too long, trying to farm for that. Why do you play with other accounts? So I would love to just use my own account when I play new weapons, because what I do is I'm taking weapons that I don't normally play competitively up to X rank. That's what the series is about. Just trying to get to a higher level on weapons that I just don't normally play. Get some familiarity with them, learn the game from new perspectives. I would love to be able to just like reset my ranks and do that on my own account or something like that. But if I were to try and, you know, do the C rank to X rank grind on my own account, I would need to just throw matches to D rank myself all the way down. And that feels a lot less ethical than just making a Smurf account and using that instead. Because I'm not going to stay in C for very long. It's usually like 5 games, maybe 6, depending on how many points I get from them. It's like, you get to the point where you are actually at the appropriate skill level very quickly, and that's what the system is designed to do, and it's very good at it. Yeah, alright, fine. Oh, Yep, Alice is definitely copying me. But it's been really helpful for me. Like, I never would have learned Stingray, for example, to anywhere near the degree of skill that I know it if I hadn't played Heavy. And granted, I'm not playing it perfectly yet. Like, I'm still not using the map very effectively. But I would have been so much worse and understood it so much less if it hadn't been for having to play it for learning the Heavy Slowing. We need to get out of this. Oh no! Pressed jump too early. Feet still weren't unpainted. This is not a good time to be too down. Careful, Storm. Oh, I literally ran out of ink the one shot that I needed. This is a loss. We'll get out there and try our best, but we're gonna have to hold forward really hard. Yeah, not happening. Whee! Yeah, Kensugear is very edgy. Swim goggles as street fashion is, that's a new one for sure. 2,400, so that's 3 losses or 2 wins. Also, thank you for the follow, Brianna. Oh, Brianna NM is what I'm looking at there. Briannanum. What do you think about X battles? Only Brian. Oh, never mind. What do you think about X battles in Splatoon 3? We don't know an awful lot about them. If they work the same way as they do in Splatoon 2, they're fine. But if they... We know that you have to get to at least S+0 to have access to them, that they cost a lot more rank points to engage in. But we don't know a ton about how they themselves will actually be formatted. If they'll just be the same tickets that you get in Anarchy modes, or if it'll be something else. But what I'm hoping happens with those, and what FLC is optimistic will happen, is that it'll be a way to play that's sweatier to distinguish that from just like X-Rank solo queue, the way that it currently is. Because right now, in solo queue, you get this weird mix of like hardcore top 500 players who will wipe the floor with the vast majority of people in X-Rank, and people who think that missile spamming on Neo Sploosh is going to work for them. And like, it's really awkward that those different groups of people, vastly different groups of people, are in the same spot. If they're able to find a way to make it so that we can keep the sweats in sweaty game modes and the others who aren't really learning to play the game at a competitive level in other lobbies, I think that's going to be best for both parties. What I really like is that there is a low-stakes way to play ranked modes that doesn't require you to have other people playing with you. That is so important. There is the way FLC puts it is just like, there's finally a way to just play the effing game. Because like he is in Australia, where he has to play against like 2,600 level Japanese lobbies all the time. He just runs into people who hit their shots every time. And it's either that experience for him, or it's turf war. Those are the only two ways that he is able to play the game by himself. It's just kind of too much. You need more variety than that. And Splatoon 3 will finally have that. It's hard to say how it'll actually shake out, like whether people will care more about the Anarchy series or about X Battles. My guess is that they'll care more about X Battles, and then Anarchy series will be a little bit more chill, or Anarchy Open. Anarchy Open is definitely going to be the most chill mode, but what happens between X and Anarchy is hard to say for me. But what I do know is that whatever it ends up being, it's good that we have all of them. How do you exactly play Stingray? Every time I use it, I can't aim with it properly. So here's kind of the way that I've figured it out. And I'm not the best player with it or anything, but basically you start it up, and there's a significant amount of time before it's doing max damage. If you start firing it. So when you start firing it, you only want to deactivate it and turn someplace else if, like, you've splatted the person that you're targeting or have a reason not to target them anymore, like maybe they're booyahing or something, and you're switching targets. You want to keep it on that same player and keep firing it if at all possible. But if you do need to rotate it very quickly, it's faster to deactivate and reactivate in a different direction because you turn much more slowly while you're firing it. Then the way to aim it, you hit someone with Stingray, and you have to think, like, which side are they going to want to try and dodge this to? Like, put yourself in their shoes. Think about you're that shooter weapon who's trying to paint their feet and go the way that you're not going. Are they going to expect you to keep rotating to one side? Are they going to expect you to go reverse directions on them? Like, you kind of have to play this 50-50 mind game with them a little bit. Or, you know, use information that you have about, you know, there's another player in that direction, so they don't want to retreat that way. If they retreat that way, they get splatted anyway. And use that sort of information to inform where you think the shots need to go to be able to hit someone. If you think about it, like, obviously you have to set it up in the right place for this, but you can really make it a one-dimensional problem. You can really make it a problem of, do I need to go right or do I need to go left with my aim? Or, like, do I need to go up this hill or down this hill? And once you've simplified it that much, you, like, know here are the angles that this person can take. So here are the only two options that I need to consider, the only things that I need to cut off. It can be pretty easy to catch someone. But you need to hit a lot of hits, and to do that, you need to have your aim on pretty much the whole time. So you need knowledge of where they're going to go, and like a good sense of prediction for where they'll want to be based on what you're doing, how they'll most likely respond to you. Like, those dodges that I just did are based on that same sort of calculus. Like, based on where I am right now, where is my opponent going to predict that I'm going to go? And where do I need to go so that when they adjust their aim in that way, they will miss? I didn't survive the entire fight or anything, but being able to make those kinds of guesses on someone, it's something that I learned really well from playing Super Smash Brothers. Like, you kind of just get this sense of, okay, you did this move the last 2 times, they're going to predict that that's what's going to happen again, and now you're going to do something else. Or they're going to predict that you're going to do something different, and so then you do the same thing. And if you can get good at that sort of thing, there are a lot of different games that will benefit from it, and Stingraying someone is one of those. Ink rushes and Clan Blitz X rank still run around, collect clams, throw football and basket, repeat. Very low X rank, yes. Past about 2150, not really, because they can't get that far. Yes! We have unlocked Captain Magma, everybody. What's the rotation right now? Clan Blitz, yeah. Wrong rotation for it, but here it is, everybody. We're gonna walk it in, all right? This has been a long time coming. Okay. We did it. Okay. So I think what I'll do right now is get into the training room and figure out how the heck this thing works. Okay, so this should do... Okay, so that's 55 because I hit with a direct, but it didn't land on top of them. But this will do 90 because it hits with the direct and then the splash damage next to it. Okay, so I need to be pretty darn close with the splash damage. No, I don't. I don't. Okay, so it's smaller than like a... It's maybe the size of a burst bomb explosion. Okay. So it's not, it's definitely nowhere near like a frickin' suction bomb. Not even a splat bomb size. Okay, that makes sense. And that did 90. So if I'm at max range, it's going to be easier to hit those because it's going to be landing at the same time. And I do get a double tap sound when that happens. You get like tap like that. So I can listen for that to know how much damage I've actually done to them. All right. So if I aim down, that's going to put the explosion closer in front of me. So for this first target, I want it to be like here. There it is. Can I get that when it's closer? Trying to get the 90 damage direct from closer range than max range. There, I got it. There, I got it. There it is. That was another one. That was one. Okay, I'm getting the hang of this. Yeah, this thing does not need burst bomb. Holy moly. Hitting one of those and then just immediately splatting them with that, that would be insane. We do not need that on any weapon. Alright. You ready for this? Oh, wait, I think this thing can insta-pop if... Oh, man, I need to charge so much right now. You can insta-pop if you throw a sprinkler, then you put a slosh up in the air, and then you put the bubble over the top, and the slosh hits the bubble. So it's like this, like that, except you get the direct on it, and then it actually pops the bubble. Thank you for the follow. That was actually a subscription on YouTube. Dead Penrosian, but also Sports Robot from 5 minutes ago. Having suction indirect range. Oh, you know what? I might have actually did what I needed to do for the insta-pop and just not got it because of Object Shredder. But let's try it one more time. So... I don't think I got it. I keep throwing it into the bubble. I'm trying to throw it past the bubble. This takes so long to charge special on. Get him! Get him! You got this, Bubble. There! Great job! Man, Sprinkler really do be a sub-weapon. Okay, so I still two-shot as long as I just hit directs. If I don't hit directs, then I'm in a lot of trouble. And I definitely want to avoid grading unless I can keep them from getting onto it. My god, it still takes this long. There we go. How much damage did that do? I couldn't see the number as it went by my screen. Oh yeah, you can press ZR. The item input, the button input for speeding Sheldon up, it actually says hurry it up, which is hilariously rude. Also deserved. Okay. This weapon makes sense. So now we've just got to wait for Rainmaker rotation and we can debut it. Alright. I still don't get why custom is used more, at least from what I've seen. So the X-Bolt that I'm using right now has two major problems. One, it has Sprinkler, which is usually bad. Two, it has bubbles, which are pretty good, except that it can't pop them by itself very easily. Yes, it can in theory if it does that combo that I just attempted 3 times and failed. It's a lot easier to do something like the foil squeezers bubble combo. That's just way more consistent. Even the Kensa Juniors bubble combo, I would say, is probably more consistent than this. And so the utility of the special diminishes considerably since it has such a hard time popping them itself. So its kit in general just isn't working well for it. The nice thing about the other Explo is that it's a weapon that if you get up close to it, it's really weak. And Baller is a perfect response to someone getting up close to you and being really weak. Baller is a great panic button option where you're just like, okay, this frontliner is going to get close to me before I can do lethal damage. Let's just reposition using the Baller and get back into play without getting splatted. So that's what that's for. That's the major part of that kit that just makes it so much better. Why do you call it Captain Magma? Have you seen the SpongeBob episode? The Justice League of Super Acquaintances or something like that? Where Squidward gets to be a volcano head? It's very similar to the explosher. You play Salmon Run? Not that often, honestly. I like it a lot. The fact that it exists is wonderful. And it can be a good way to get certain rewards once you get leveled up enough. But it's just not held my attention as long as the multiplayer has. My thing is, like, I need multiplayer games. I need games where, like, you can't just, like, beat the game and be done with it in 50 hours. I think it maintains your hours, even though this is a different profile. Yeah. That's what I'm at on this account. There's another account that I have another probably 300, 400 hours on. So, I like to be able to dig into a game. And games that are PvE generally are not like that. There are very few that are. Like, Dark Souls is like that. I haven't gotten to the end game of Monster Hunter, but it's definitely very difficult and nuanced, even as far as I am in it. So there are a few games that pull it off. But, like, once you hit hazard level max in this game, it's like, well, you've seen everything there is to see. And even before you've hit that, you know exactly what it's going to feel like, and you're just like, well, adding a few more chum to the situation is not changing this experience dramatically for me. So that's where I'm at on it. But I'm super, happy that there are a bunch of people who really love that game mode and take it very seriously and dig into all of its hidden depths to figure out all of the strategies. There was a Salmon Run competition at Genesis 7 that people flew out for. Literally only to fly out for Salmon Run. And I think that's so freaking cool. It's just not for me. 225 full days of Splatooning. Yeah, there it is. All right. I am going to call it there. We've mission accomplished. We've got Captain Magma, and I'll probably just grab a Rainmaker rotation tomorrow and get going on it, because I want to get some real exploshering in before Splatoon 3. I want to get a chance to dig into that weapon and learn what I can about it. Because there's not that much time left to do that. And this weekend is going to be the Splatfest, which is very cool and very important. So let's go and find somebody to raid. We've got... let's go raid Reborn. Reborn is streaming some X-Rank solo queue. Reborn was a former teammate of mine, now playing for the Grillers, which is a team that I used to play for as well. So very close relationship there. Awesome mindsets. Definitely, look at the way that he maintains morale during the game, the way that he talks to himself, because I think that's really powerful, the way that he does it. And he's definitely buoyed me and my teammates at moments where we were tilting in the past. So great role model to look up to in that regard. Let's go say hi. those of you who are on YouTube at the moment, if you want to participate in the raid, hop over to twitch.tv/squid_school. Oh no, we're running out of time. There are only 3 seconds left. Oh no, we're leaving. We're going through a tunnel. We're blacking out. Ah!